early childhood, and so let's give them a round of applause.
Good morning, everyone. Good morning. You know, it's very fitting for me personally, serendipitous, I would say, to be standing in the great city of Waterbury on this beautiful day on the Waterbury Green. Not too long ago, after I had graduated from the University of Connecticut with a degree in early childhood, to be a child care champion, I got the privilege to work in the city of Waterbury. I was born in Waterbury Hospital, and part of my day as a toddler teacher, I would get up at 2 o'clock in the morning and I'd go to Freight Street and I'd fill up my car with a bunch of newspapers and I'd deliver newspapers throughout the city of Waterbury. I'd get back home to my wife and children and I'd get ready to be the best toddler teacher I could be. And then after I came out of the child care program, I would go do a third job, wearing the full-on headset, doing 411 info assist. City and state, please. And you might ask, well, David, why are you working 3 jobs? You went to the University of Connecticut, you graduated with a bachelor's degree in early childhood, human development. And I would say to you, because there is no public investment in the field of early childhood, I would say to you that there is no public eye, no public attention on the most important field that can have the most transformative impact on the quality of life for the individuals and residents throughout the state of Connecticut from all
Amen.
Walks of life. I'd say to you that early childhood and childcare is facing an existential threat like never before, 50 years in the making, and it is striking to me that we're in this place where the industry is on the brink of collapse without any real understanding of where we'll be tomorrow and in the days and months ahead. We have a failed business model that doesn't meet multiple areas. It doesn't meet the capacity needs of hardworking families. 1 in 3 workers in the state of Connecticut are parents. Childcare works so parents can work. We have known this. Those of you in the field have known this. Unfortunately, I say to you, it required a global pandemic to heighten the awareness of the public at large on how critical childcare is to the economic vitality of any community, any neighborhood. 1 in 3 workers right here in Connecticut need childcare. We learned through the ugly realities of a pandemic that a lot more than academics, a lot more than math and literacy was going on in the K-12 system. There was childcare going on. And when the whole world shut down, childcare, like it has been, on the backs of families, on the backs of low compensated childcare workers for the last 50 years, stood in the front line, holding, being an iron pillar of support, being a footstool to the economy amidst the last 24 months of this pandemic as essential workers. Thank you. I say to you, this has been a mess in the making for 50 years. Again, no public investment across the industry of childcare. I'll leave you with 3 E's. I'm going to call them E's. Economics, equity, and experiences. And when I say experiences, I say early experiences. I think I've stated my case around economics. Childcare works so parents can work. You look at the COVID-19 response and recovery groups at the local, regional, state, and at the national level. You saw the corporations coming back into reopening Connecticut, reopening America. And what did you hear? You heard from corporations, you heard from businesses, small and large, say, we have most of our workers back, but the ones who are not back are, guess what? The ones who are in need of childcare. You have no economy, you have no immediate response to recovery, and you have no long-term, sustainable, economic, thriving economy without childcare. Number 2, experiences. Early experiences matter. The science and the research is very clear. across the country, across the state of Connecticut. The body of research is what it tells us is that from birth to age 3, there is more rapid brain development, physiological, psychological development of the brain from birth to age 3 compared to the entire human experience from age 4 all the way to our last day on Earth. And from age 3 to age 5, right before kindergarten, the brain is at 90% of its development. My point is, early experiences matter. We know about the biology, we know about the brain science, we know about the neurological, physiological development of the developing human, the young child. Shame on us that we don't put a public investment on the most formative, most impactful years of the human experience from birth to age 5. We have real champions here today dedicated to behavioral and mental health. Mental health begins in early childhood. Children are formed by their early experiences, their social, emotional experiences. Again, you can go to anywhere. You could go to the Harvard Center for the Development Child. You can go across the country, across the world. The science is clear. Economics, experiences, and equity. I'm going to have the pleasure to introduce an equity champion. And there are far more better and far more appropriate individuals than a position in my level of power to be speaking to equity. But as an aspiring ally, please indulge me as a father with 2 daughters, a wife who also pursued early childhood, both of us coming out of the University of Connecticut to work in childcare. When you look at the childcare field, when you look at the field of early childhood, 98% of the workforce are women. More than 90% of the childcare entrepreneurship and operations are owned and operated by women. Those sirens are very fitting to what we are speaking to this morning. We are in a real crisis, we are in a real crossroads. And so when I say to you that 98% of the workforce are women, and more than 90% are women-owned and operated childcare programs, what does that say to us with the lack of a public investment? What does that say to what we value or what we don't value? When you connect the dots to the early experiences in the brain science, and you connect the dots to economic opportunity, for shame on us. Today we're all gonna walk away and we're gonna feel good about making some noise, but the sobering reality is we're seeing little change and not enough. The childcare industry is on the brink of collapse, and it's falling on the backs of an undercompensated workforce. It's falling on the backs of hardworking parents and families, health caregivers, manufacturers, hospitality and retail workers, small business owners and operators. They can't operate without childcare, and it's falling on the backs. We have a broken system on childcare. And so we implore you and we ask you, please stay in touch with me, stay in touch with Waterbury Bridge to Success, stay in touch with the Connecticut Early Childhood Alliance, stay in touch with the Connecticut Association for the Education of Young Children. Please, we need to keep this front and center, because right now it's just kind of sitting out there on the periphery and nobody's paying attention to it. They think it's just cookies and milk and Pampers and just a little bit of singing songs, and people want to come into our childcare program and look good in pictures and sing songs with kids and then walk out. Meanwhile, childcare workers who have pour themselves into the work, they're just scraping above minimum wage. You look at the average statistics of a childcare worker making in the neighborhood of $24,000 a year. And oh, if you're a head teacher in a childcare program, now you're soaring over, and yeah, I'm being sarcastic here, you're soaring over right here in Connecticut an average wage rate of $16.11. Meanwhile, mom and dad who are trying, and caregivers who are trying to bring their kids into a program, they're paying a tuition rate because we don't have a public investment. They are paying a level of tuition for childcare that challenges the cost of housing. It needs to stop.